Last time, on Shauna Colum's channel.
Speaking of which, did you guys watch the 5.6 live stream earlier?
I don't think either of us have, since today was a busy day for all of us. I was just about to ask if you all want to watch it together.
That's an amazing idea. I haven't had time to watch it yet since I was really busy the whole day.
What's good, everyone? I watched the stream already, but I'm down to watch it again with y'all. My name is Ermias. I'm the Eritrean avatar of Hiwat, the god of nature. You must be Amari, the avatar of Olorun, the ruler of the heavens. Yansa and her friend Lavina told me a lot about you. I'm also a good friend of Yansa's boyfriend, who will be joining us shortly.
Oh, really? Well, it's nice meeting an Eritrean avatar other than myself, my Habesha brother.
I could say the same for you, but Yansa's boyfriend is another Eritrean avatar. Although, like you and Rosella, he was chosen by the god of nature from his Mayan side.
Oh, hey, Ermias! It's been so long since we last spoke to each other.
I know, right? I forgot the last time we spoke on the phone together. I would invite Ignacio to the call since I know he would be thrilled to see you. But he went to see a movie with Hikari and Lavina, who's their trainer.
Hey everyone, my name is Atsuko. I'm Ermias' girlfriend as well as the avatar of Amaterasu, the Japanese god of the sun. My best friend Hikari asked me to fill in for her, by the way.
Oh, hello there, Atsuko. It's nice speaking with you again. For anyone that's confused, Hikari happens to be the younger cousin of Akira, who is one of my best friends.
I also visited New Zealand with her since I have some family there as well. Speaking of which, how has everyone been there these days?
Well, I'm glad you asked. They've been doing amazing so far. But we should come back to this topic later since I wouldn't want to keep everyone waiting for a lot longer to watch the special program.
Speaking of which, we should invite Miyuji to join us since I got a lot of questions about the VA situation and some other questionable shit that's been going on lately.
Yeah, I was just about to invite her since I also have my own concerns.
Miyuji isn't able to join at the moment, so she asked me to take over for her. Allow me to introduce myself before y'all start up the special program. My name is Ziyue. I'm the avatar of Chang'e, the fairy of the moon.
If I remember correctly, isn't she the Chinese goddess from Smite that doesn't speak with the rabbit companion that talks for her similar to Aphelios and his sister from League of Legends? I remember a friend of mine mained her when she invited me and Ermias to run a few games for her livestream one day.
You're absolutely correct, Atsuko. By the way, I had the pleasure of running into Amaterasu when I visited Japan with a couple friends of mine, and she told me all about you. I also met Tsukuyomi, the god of the moon, along the way, and let's just say that I had a strong displeasure meeting him.
Yeah, let's not bring his name up anymore. Say, Ziyue, have you met Susano, the god of the summer storm, by any chance? I have a best friend named Hikari who was chosen to be his avatar.
Unfortunately, I haven't, but Amaterasu spoke to me about him for a bit. I did, however, meet Fujin and his avatar, who happens to be an online friend of mine that I met in person for the first time. I would invite her to this call, but I noticed that we already have so many people.
Yeah, I'm surprised how popular Rosella is. By the way, my boyfriend texted me that he just got home and he'll be joining us in a bit before we get started.
While we wait for Yansa's boyfriend, I'm curious to know how you and Ermias met, Atsuko.
Well, we've actually known each other for a while through Hikari, since she's a childhood friend and neighbor of my homie Ignacio. I remember getting a call from Atsuko at 10 p.m., which lasted for 2 hours around 2 years ago. Surprisingly, we have a lot in common than I expected, since we both gave each other some advice with our struggles.
He gave me some advice on how to better improve my health, and I help him a lot with being more active and brightening his mood.
Her liveliness has a huge impact on everyone she meets. I can tell you're also the same way, Hannah, since the two of you like talking a lot. Shui is also the same way, so the three of you make a perfect trio.
By the way, Hannah and Zibalanke, the two of you should stop by my family gym tomorrow. I have a lot more friends to introduce to you guys. You should come too, Ziyue, if you're in the area. If possible, you should also bring some friends with you. Speaking of which, I'll be offering you all VIP passes since we're all friends here.
Hannah and I were actually there earlier. Since the company Mayren works at as a sponsor, she got the two of us in as her guests.
Also, thanks for offering us the VIP passes, mate. I know a lot of people back home that could really use an amazing and thoughtful friend like you, Shui Ming.
I know about your gym already through your older sister that I work with in the agency. I'll be sure to invite a good friend of mine to join me.
Now that I think about it, I remember Shan Ming describing you a few times. She would mention how your natural beauty and fighting style is as graceful as the moon. I'll be looking forward to finally meeting you in person. Oh, and maybe either me or Rosella could spar with you.
Sean also mentioned you being Hebo's avatar. I would like for that to happen one day.
This may come as a surprise to you, Ziyue, But I'm Cibalanque's avatar.
Yeah, I would love to see how a match would go between the two of you afterwards, since Rosella is actually a lot more challenging compared to me.
Yo, I just thought of something. Amari sparring against ZUA would be a match made in heaven, since it would be a sun versus moon matchup.
Oh, you're right, Yansa. By the way, I have a friend named Lan Min who's also a Yoruba avatar, although she was chosen by Tingyun, who's the Chinese ice goddess. She told me about you being the avatar of Olorun, the ruler of the heavens, when you and Rosella met her 5 months ago. Also, another thing that Miyuji told me is that you and Olorun attacked Da Wei because of what they apparently did to him and the rest of your people, which made her worry so much that she had to come to Shui's gym to speak with you and apologize on her boss's behalf.
Yeah, but Hannah ended up relieving the situation a bit since apparently Ororon is actually a short version of a word in the Maori language.
The full word is Ororongo, which means hear and audio. Listen, Amari, I understand you've had a lot of people explain this to you by now, but punishing a businessman like Da Wei for your culture won't solve anything, since all it will do is cause even more problems.
Yeah, I work in the police agency, and even I'm surprised that no one was around to call them.
This must be the real reason Da Wei was crying during that speech he did about the hate they've been getting from the community months ago. How much is Miyuji even getting paid to work for someone like him anyways?
If I had to guess, Atsuko, it probably ain't a lot since she's mostly a social media entrepreneur. God damn, there's so many people in this call!
Adam, I'm glad you were able to make it. And by the way, Rosella and Amari are both really popular.
Hey Adam, it's nice speaking with you again. How has everyone back in Oakland been these days?
I'm glad you asked, Rosella. Everybody has been doing really well. So I take it China has been wonderful for you as well, judging by your mood compared to when you left 2 years ago.
Yep. I have Shui Ming, Amari, and his girlfriend Olivia, who you'll eventually meet one day to thank for it.
You must be Amari, the avatar of Olorun, the ruler of the heavens. Yansa and Lavina told me a lot about you. I'm also half Eritrean despite being the avatar of a god from my other side like you. I'm the avatar of Yumcox, the Mayan lord of the forest.
What did he say? Hey, yo, what the fuck?
First off, no diddy. Also, it's nice meeting another Habesha avatar, other than myself and Ermias. Yeah, I'll admit that sounds wrong. He also goes by Yumka, which is a lot easier to pronounce.
I was just thinking if we could invite him to the server since he also a good bro of mine. But we already got too many people in here as Adam just mentioned. We should get started with the special program since everyone's here.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We can pick this conversation back up afterwards. I wonder if Paimon will be the host since she's one of the characters that hasn't been muted yet.
I highly doubt it due to the situation that's been going on with her voice actor. Hope that information helped.
1 hour later.
This looking like an interesting patch since we back in Mondstadt. But it ain't the same with these voice actors that are still muted. At least the Archon Quest don't got the same situation as Hu Tao, whose story got locked into this year's Lantern Ride that we never getting back, unless Hoyo finally decide to get they shit together and let everybody play through old events. The same can also be said for Nahida's birthday event back in 5.1, which was a lot worse, as well as the Inazuma event with Mizuki in 5.4. And now we gotta go through the same shit with Fontaine's event, where Navia, as the main host for her theme park, as well as some other characters from that nation, besides Linny, Furina, and Nouvellette, I believe, are muted.
Yeah, a lot of people on social media were really disappointed about this year's Lantern Rite for the English dub. So I understand exactly how you feel, Amari.
It felt like going to an NBA game to watch your favorite player in person, only to find out that he won't be playing. Especially since they did her a lot worse than Albedo by expanding her story at the worst possible time in a locked event that no one will ever be able to play through. I would blame the Hoyo devs for how they've been handling the situation, but there is way too much going on with the voice actor drama since they want a lot of different things.
Yeah, a lot of them have been getting exposed ever since the Jacob Takanashi situation, which wasn't his fault since he really didn't know about the strike. Come to find out that Genshin and the other Hoyo games aren't even a part of SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, Raisali's VA pointed out that it was a collective work refusal to get Hoyo to sign the interim agreement.
Another thing that confuses me is that China already has AI protection. So what the fuck are these VAs really fighting for? Also, I find it funny how it went from Hollywood stars getting exposed last year to the VA community this year. And speaking of getting exposed, Kaylee Mills, who the VA for Kaching actually used to support Jacob a couple years ago when he was a lot smaller, till that tweet he made about being the new VA for Carnage, where she joined everyone else and went behind his back with the tweets she made saying that he should have took the role uncredited and even went as far to call his wife the breadwinner.
Yeah, she deactivated her Twitter due to the amount of hate she got. Also, I don't know what agenda is being pushed behind closed doors, but at this point, you would hope that Paimon's VA gets fired soon with her recent crash outs. Plus the excuses this ugly-ass Denkoro made about that TikTok video being AI.
And to make things worse, I can't believe a lot of retarded-ass niggas on her Blue Sky actually believed it.
But wait! It gets even worse from here. When someone mentioned the video where Tectone reacted to the AI Paimon video, she changes it to that being what she meant.
True.
This isn't Paimon, or even her voice actor. This message is for Corina. You are an absolute worthless scab and a hypocrite. You are way worse than most scabs.
I'll play it again!
Because most scabs are smart enough to shut up when they get caught flip-flopping on their principles.
As much as I agree with everyone that Pendea Corina Bootlicker need to go, it would be extremely difficult since Paimon got an insane amount of voice lines up to this point.
Yeah, Hoyoverse games haven't been the same since Genshin 5.1.
Also, another thing to point out is that although the experience would be better for the time being playing in a different language, as a Chinese myself alongside Shui and Ziyue, I understand that not everyone is willing to listen to a language they aren't familiar with and look at subtitles the entire time.
Also, Rosella and I are already more familiar with everyone from the English dub, so it wouldn't be the same for us.
And to continue your comment about Genshin not being the same, Hannah, the situation has gotten bad to the point where they started hiring Wuthering Waves VAs, which ain't that much of a bad thing really, but it still concerns me about the game's future.
I know what you mean, Adam. They had Verisa, Gordon Ramsay, and Aoife's VAs on the live stream, with once again no Ether or Lumine.
Thinking about it now, I'm starting to miss hearing Lumine's cheerful voice in the special programs. But at least it's somewhat better than having the two Adventurers Guild NPCs, since you would know that it's a bad sign when they show up.
But at the same time, I would prefer if they were in character like what they be doing in Star Rail, so it don't sound like they got a gun pointed to their head.
Anyways, for the events, there isn't that much to say other than Navia's theme park, and the PvP event being the most interesting.
I agree with you, Rosella. Most of them at this point are pretty much same old, although I'm really interested in playing the Brawl game mode.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it and get some free primos along the way, since it seems like the most fun to play other than the combat events.
Other than the quote-unquote fun events, what the fuck were those greedy-ass niggas thinking with the second phase banners? Like, bro, Kinnich and Raiden already shared the same banner phase back in the beginning of Natlin.
Yeah, I don't agree with their decision either. If you ask me, or even anyone I hope, Keenich should have been with Gordon Escoffier, and Navia should have been with Raiden so people can have more time to save for her, since she's still a good main GO DPS to have. Oh, and a fun fact, by the way, is that Escoffier's name is actually based on a famous French chef named Auguste Escoffier, who popularized and updated the traditional French cooking methods.
Wait, really? After hearing about how she acts in the live stream, I took her to be more of a female version of Gordon Ramsay since they're both really strict and a nightmare to have as a head chef.
Auguste was also strict since he valued a disciplined and organized environment through systematic methods, although he wasn't as intense and emotional compared to Gordon.
Well, at least how the American media portrays him, since we should all know by now that shit is fake entertainment. Yeah, those type of shows are mainly meant for old heads who ain't got shit better to do with their life.
Moving along from that, the devs also made some system optimizations, but as usual, they're not really that helpful.
I agree, Yansa. Although they made the character talents and constellations easier to understand for newer players, if you've been playing for a while, then there isn't that much use for it. Especially since we have guide makers like Ziox, for example, who basically teaches us how to play.
Also, the ability to delete multiple pins on your map could be decent sometimes, but I can't say the same for the Treasure Compass and Imaginarium Theater, since everyone still wants an artifact loadout system and a skip button that we should have been had by now.
Exactly, right? If Whimpering Waves can do it, then why not either of the fucking Hoyoverse games with the characters nowadays like Raiden and Zelonin, for example, who use multiple sets in certain comps? Man, it really went from Genshin would never to now Genshin will never!
And don't get me started on the fact that neither of the Hoyo games got a guaranteed weapon banner to this day. Also, Capture and Radiance don't really do shit I feel like till 3 50-50 losses in a row, since it triggered when I pulled my Huika. But then I lost to the small ice gremlin that Hu Tao need to hurry up and bury at this point, on Citlali banner. So I decided to use my guarantee on Arlecchino since I had a feeling that she'll be really useful for me in the future. And also there's no telling when she getting her next rerun. But oh my fucking goodness, when I pulled on Rosella, I ended up losing my 6th 50-50 in a row to C3 Mona. I didn't even know that shit was possible.
I want all these fucking devs fired tomorrow. Tomorrow.
I ain't really tripping that much though, since she ain't that much of a game changer compared to Casteris from Star Rail. Plus I got C3 Eonson along the way, so I decided to save my guarantee for a better character and come back to Rosella if she's still good by then.
Damn. I'm really sorry that happened to Mari. I hope Dawei didn't actually rig your account for punishing him.
If that's actually the price him and Olorun pay, then I'm not even surprised by the slightest.
Huh? How the hell did this ugly demonic motherfucker find this server? I know exactly who you are since Ermias and I both came across you in Smite. Ravan, the Demon King of Lanka.